How should we protect our kids from stress? I'm sitting here with resident psychologist Collett. Now, how can we protect our kids from stress, and should we?
So, look, in the time that we're in now at the moment, Fiona, we've had, obviously we're all living through COVID, depending where you are, in New Zealand, in Victoria, kids have been in and out of lockdown, in and out of school. Some children are going to display stress, quite obviously. Some children are going to be going through periods of stress and you won't notice it as clearly. They've had to give up play dates, interaction, schooling. There's so many things. Our older kids, their formals, there's so many things that our kids are dealing with. Now, I think the answer isn't about how we take stress away completely. It's how we teach our children to tolerate stress. We are going to go through stress at all periods of our lives, at different levels. And we're actually teaching our children to become adults who tolerate stress at healthy levels. Now, obviously there are unhealthy levels of stress, but the day-to-day stuff, we've got to help our children learn to become more resilient.
Navigate their way through life.
Absolutely. There's the Child Mind Institute talks about we want to teach our children to tolerate not knowing. So it's a lot of our stress comes from the unknown. And if we can teach our children, you actually can survive when you don't know something or you don't have all the answers. That's actually okay. That's actually something that we all need to live with. And so some of the things we can do is ask specific questions of our children. If you ask a vague question, you're going to get a vague answer. So we ask them, what have you heard today? Or what is it that you're specifically worried about with the test? Or what is it specifically that's worrying you in your relationship with Susie? Or whatever it might be. Be specific in your questions. Then what we do is we actually validate our children's feelings. Tell them that we're also having worries as adults. Don't dump all your biggest worries on your children, but normalize for them. I always talk about normalizing, but normalizing makes your child realize they're not alone, that they're normal for having fears. Then what we do is we problem solve, not during the height of the emotion, but at dinner or at relaxed times. We help them problem solve ways that they can cope with their stress in healthy ways. Kick a ball, jump on the trampoline, read, do deep breathing, go and see friends when you're able to. What are things that will work for your child? Then there was this beautiful analogy. It's called the rose analogy. I just love it. It's looking at the rose petals. So what are the things that you loved about today or that you are grateful for today? What are the thorns that happened today? So the thorns of the rose are something that you didn't enjoy very much today or that worried you. And then the bud. What is something you're looking forward to? Especially in this time, we need to help our children to have vision, help them to think ahead to the what-ifs, the unknowns, but the pleasant unknowns, because we can't solve all the unknowns or the fears, but we can dream. And so helping our children in this time still to dream, I think that's a really important part of alleviating stress and tolerating some of the unknowns.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Collett. Now, that's a great analogy. Think of the rose every time your kid might be stressed. Keep it locked right here on Mums at the Table.